All right, last take. Last one was pretty good. I wrapped it up, but I want to be more clear. Hi, Dr. Wada. My name's Andrew. Where am I at? Scary place. I don't know. I'm in a really empty garage. Actually, I didn't even tell you my thing, how to make a serial killer. And this is actually one of the places where you would not want to see one of them because there's a car coming here. That's weird. This is awkward. But their victims are availability, desirability, and vulnerability. And that's so funny. This is not the ideal place to be seen making a poster about making a serial killer. Are they gone? Okay. I'm just gonna keep that in here. Mayo gene, which is responsible for regulating and controlling the activity level of neurotransmitters such as dopamine, all this and stuff. And this is what Jim Fallon, a famous neuroscience researcher, found, is that Mayo genes and loss of function in the orbital cortex are kind of the main, most common denominators of all serial killers. Because, well, what the gene does and what loss of orbital cortex does is two different things. Orbital cortex is kind of, you lose, orbital cortex is responsible for ethics and morality. I'm sorry, I'm a little thrown off by the people that just drove right through here and looked at me. But yeah, it's responsible for ethics and mortality. So when you lose that, you lose your ethics and mortality. But the Mayo gene is responsible for low levels of that, is associated with antisocial behavior, depression, suicide, murder, and depression. Did I say one of those? Yeah, killing, basically. Yeah, all serial killers have that, and a lot of us have that as well. But what separates us from the serial killer genes, because let's be honest, some of us had that. But the reason that we're not like them, like Jeffrey Dahmer, like Stufulus, like Ted Bundy, all these guys who murdered way more people than I'll ever do in my lifetime, and all you guys will ever do in your lifetime, hopefully. If you're a serial killer watching this, I don't know why. Go get a life. Rough childhood is the reason. They started smaller. You know, it's never just killing people off the bat. It started with killing animals. It started with abandonment. It started with no love. It started with lack of empathy. It started with perving on other people having sex. It started being like a peeping Tom. It started with lack of empathy. And that kind of leads to building a serial killer. Having all that stuff at a young age and being exposed to all of that is recipe for disaster, especially mix that with the gene, which is kind of like that inherent nature feeling of kind of want to be destructive. It's the Thanos type thing, but basically goes in hand, and you mix it all together and you can get a serial killer, or sometimes a scientist, because the dude who did Jim Fallon, the neuroscientist, he did a blind thing where he had people with disorders, regular people, and serial killers all brain scanned, and he picked out which ones blindly, and he picked out all the serial killers. But fascinatingly enough, he did it again with his family and other people, and he found a brain that had the most serial killer showing out of all of them. Most serial killer activities, red lights. It's like, oh my gosh, that's a serial killer. Whose brain was it? It was his brain. Why? Scientists kind of usually don't believe in faith and all that, so that could be part of the reason. But he's been researching it so much, and he's been diving so much into it that he's starting to probably lose orbital cortex, the function of it. And I mean, that's usually can happen a lot with major researchers and stuff. They kind of start to dive so much far into it. Wow, I'm starting to lose time. I think I hit all the points though, but yeah, like I said, what their victims are and what do they want? Oh, I didn't even discuss that. But basically, they are, I thought I had it on here. That is a shame. They want control. They want dominance. They want to have control over their victim, and they want to be in a private setting. And yeah, serial killers are crazy.